I was having a chat with a reporter the other night, and she was asking me about the inheritance tax. Now, this is something I've been talking about a lot. So it's going in the sheet. And she was asking me about it because a lot of the public don't understand it fully. And she said that some people are angry about the inheritance tax for farmers in a negative way, as in we should be paying the tax and things like this. We get a lot of negative press, pay your taxes, etc. And I try and share posts about that too. But I was chatting with her and actually had a really good think about it. And I thought to myself, there's obviously some exceptions and some exemptions, but generally, this is the biggest difference. Somebody who has a mum or dad or relative who owns a property usually don't live in that property. It's usually lived and occupied in by the parent, the relative, etc. When they die, tragically, it's sad for everybody involved. And then, yes, the person that then inherits that is liable for inheritance tax. But here's the general difference. It's suddenly a large amount of asset given down that you didn't have before, didn't use before, and didn't need before, generally. So it's more classed as a windfall. It's a bit like inheriting £1 million in cash that you never had before, then just having to give 200,000 of it away, but you still end up with 800,000 and your daily situation hasn't changed. Your house hasn't changed, your life hasn't changed, apart from the tragic loss of a loved one. That's the biggest difference. Every single farmer who works on a farm, lives on a farm, it's their job, it's what they already currently do, it's already underpaid and underfunded. And so the biggest issue with that is that you'll eat into what already exists in that person's life. And if we have to then sell pieces of farmland to pay the bill, that's what the big risk is. That's when suddenly we risk the loss of farmland, and then the threat of food security in this country becomes something that we really need to worry about. So 90% of the time, inheritance tax is a windfall that you suddenly come into and then can afford to pay. The farming inheritance tax is not the same. I hope that makes sense.